guys! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a while since I last uploaded a YouTube video, but today I will be uploading a new topic, which is photosynthesis. I think it's been a year since I last uploaded a video about the ATP cycle, so I'm so sorry for that. Now, for the first video, for the part 1 of this video, I will be discussing to you the light-dependent reaction, the part 1 of photosynthesis. So, let's start! Now, before I start with my lesson, let me give a shout out to my grade 11 flexibility and grade 11 chastity. So, I hope you guys will watch this vlog. Now, let's proceed to our lesson. So for today's lesson, we are going to discuss photosynthesis. But before that, let me ask you a question. So if you are not human, what else do you want to be? What kind of superpower or ability do you want to have? Okay, ponder on that question. So for me, if you're gonna ask me, I can be a bird, so I can fly. Or I can be a plant. I want to be a plant, so I can produce my own food. Why? How does plant produce their own food? How? Okay, that's where photosynthesis enters. Now, when we say photo means light, and synthesis means to build something. So therefore, what is photosynthesis? It is a process by which energy is converted to chemical energy in plant cell. In cellular respiration, plants use the chemical energy stored during photosynthesis in basic life processes. For example, what I'm doing right now, I'm spending a lot of energy, right, in order for me to talk. When you eat, get food from the food, you get energy from the food you eat, right? Then what do you do next? You use that energy, and without the energy, you can't do the different life processes, right? Okay, so that is why conversion of energy through photosynthesis and cellular respiration is very important. Now, for the part 1 of this video, we are going to discuss the light dependent reaction. Okay, so what is photosynthesis? When we say photosynthesis, it is the process by which plants, some bacteria, and some protistants use the energy from sunlight in order to produce food in the form of glucose and of course, release oxygen as the byproduct from the carbon dioxide and water. Now, the glucose can be converted into pyruvate, which releases the adenosine triphosphate or the ATP through the process of cellular respiration. That, remember, photosynthesis is where oxygens are formed and released as a byproduct. Now, what is the equation? Or we can sum up the equation for photosynthesis as follows. Okay, so for the photosynthesis, 6CO2 plus 6H2O with the help of light or sunlight will produce C6H12O6 plus 6O2. So this is already the balanced equation. Again, so 6 carbon dioxide plus 6 water molecule or H2O plus light will yield the C6H12O6, which is glucose. So, as you can remember in our lesson in carbohydrates, this is a monosaccharides of carbohydrates and 6 oxygen molecules. So, that is the summary for the equation of photosynthesis. Now, what is chlorophyll? What is chlorophyll? So chlorophyll is a complex molecule, and there are different types, there are different chlorophyll. So all photosynthetic organisms have chlorophyll A. So this is an accessory pigment which helps absorb energy from the sun. So a chlorophyll A does not absorb. Accessory pigments include chlorophyll B, also C, D, E, and for the algae and the protistants, so iba-iba yon. We have xanthophylls, have carotenoids, and also such as beta-carotene. Now, chlorophyll absorbs its energy from the violet, blue, and reddish orange, red wavelengths. Ano? Remember that. So, now, little from the intermediate, we have the green-yellow wavelengths. Now, all chlorophylls have a lipid soluble hydrocarbon which tail, which is also known as the C20H39. Ano? C20H39. Okay, so it is a flat hydrophilic head with a magnesium ion at its center. So different chlorophylls have different groups on its head. So the tail and the head are linked but together by an ester bond. Ano? Okay, remember that. Now, where is the chlorophyll located? Now, for plants, you already know that plants are photosynthetic. They are autotrophic. They can produce their own food. And the leaf of the plant may be viewed as the solar collector. Okay? Meaning, it is the one that collect the solar energy. Now, water and carbon dioxide, these are the raw materials for photosynthesis which enters the leaf. Okay? Now, as for the water, we all know that the roots are the one that absorbs water. Right? Now, for the sugar and oxygen, these are the products of photosynthesis. Okay? Remember that as we go on with our lesson in photosynthesis. Now, where can we find the chlorophyll? Now, as we have discussed previously in our lessons on the different parts of the cell, plants contain the chloroplast, right? So, the chloroplast is an oval shape and they have two membranes. They are double membrane, membrane bound, which is composed of the outer membrane and then the inner membrane. Now, the outer and the inner membrane is the intermembrane space. So, it is approximately 10 to 20 nanometers wide. Now, the space within the inner membrane is called the stroma. Now, the dense fluid within the chloroplast. Why are we discussing this first? Because this is important as we try to understand where the process occurs. So this is an example of the structure of a chloroplast. Now, let's proceed to the two stages of photosynthesis. Now, the first stage of photosynthesis is the light-dependent reaction or the LDR and the light-independent reaction, LIR. Now, let's begin with the light-dependent reaction. Now, where does the light-dependent reaction start? It starts with a photoexcitation. What is photoexcitation? It is when the light energy is absorbed by a chlorophyll molecule and an electron gain energy to move to higher level in a molecule. Meaning, na-excite. Na-excite alin? Na-excite yung electrons because of the light energy that's absorbed by the photons. So we call that as the photoexcitation. Take note of that. After the photoexcitation, photoionization happens. What is photoionization? So sufficient energy ionizes, so the molecule with the electron being freed, leaving a positively charged chlorophyll ion. So this is called photoionization. Now, in a whole chloroplast, each chlorophyll molecule is associated with an electron acceptor and an electron donor. Now, there are two photosystem. Okay? There are two photosystems that is responsible for that. Okay, so these are the two photosystems which absorbs the light. As you can see, we have photosystem 2 with a pair of chlorophyll, which is P68 pigment. This is a special pair. And then for photosystem 1, P700. Okay, now as the light energy absorbed, the electron will be excited. Okay? So, na-excite yan. So, dito papasok ang photoexcitation and then photoionization. Now, electrons will will move from the photosystem 2 to photosystem 1. Okay, bakit ito naging tinawag na photosystem 1 if nauna naman yung photosystem 2? Kasi ito yung mas nauna na discovered. But in the process, as you can see, mas nauna sa photosystem 2. Okay, now. So, for the non-cyclic photophosphorylation, which is considered as the standard form when it comes to light-dependent reaction, it involves the usage of light energy, which is the photons, to make ADP from the ADP through the process of phosphorylation. Okay, so please kindly go back to our previous topic, which is ADP cycle for reference. Now, in the photosystem too, there is a light absorption. So, it goes to the electron carrier, which is the PQ. Okay, remember that? What is the PQ? So, yun nga yung nagki-carry dun sa electron, which is the PQ, the plastoquinone. After the PQ, we have the cytochrome complex, and then moving to the plastocyanine. So, meaning, from the, we have here, andito yung electron na excite. Okay, yung electron na excite. So, para ma-excite yan at mag-travel, mag-move from here to there, kailangan magsakay siya. So, we have the plastoquinone, we have the cytochrome complex, and we have the plastocyanine. Okay, so P680, becomes positively charged, which attracts the electrons of the water molecules, now resulting in the splitting of the latter, which is splitting of water molecules, producing 2 hydrogen ions. Now, when the H2O splits, diba, naghiwalay, what will happen? Okay, so the hydrogen will separate from the oxygen molecules. So, nagkakaroon tayo ng byproduct ng oxygen atom. Okay? Now, as a result, generation of ATP will happen. So, when these molecules releases the energy into the Calvin cycle, which is the next part, it loses atom to become a low energy molecule, ADP. So, dito na nangyayari guys, yung ATP-ADP cycle. Now, what is chemiosmosis? Okay? Chemiosmosis involves the ATP synthase. So, ATP synthase is one of an enzyme. Synthase. ATP synthase na nag-ano. So, where the hydrogen ion travels, signaling the creation from ATP, creation of ATP from the ADP. So, nagpo-karoon ng phosphorylation. Pag pinapump ng ATP synthase, halimbawa, nagpump yung ATP synthase, nandito yung ATP synthase. So, ito papasok dyan ADP, paglabas doon ATP na. Okay, sige. So, nagkaroon ng generation of ATP. Now, what about the photosystem 1? With the aid of P700 or the pigment 700 and without the process of splitting of water, wala dito okay, walang splitting of water molecules. After going through and accepting molecule, it undergoes another chain, passing the electron to the protein that contains iron, so called the ferredoxin. So, we have kanina, doon, we have the plastoquinone, cytochrome complex, plastocyanine. So, dito naman, we have ferredoxin or FD. So, FD naman yung nag-carry dito na molecule and it flows to the next step. What is the next step? So, the next step is the production of NADPH. Okay, so we have the NAD, dito papasok yung another enzyme, which is the NADP plus reductase. So, it carries the energized electron and drives the formation of NADPH. So, yung NADP plus, maglilid siya sa formation ng NADP plus to NADPH. So, and from NADP plus and a hydrogen ion. So, it can be used to make sugar molecule. NADPH is then released. Saan na yun mapupunta? It will then be released to the stroma and it becomes part of the Calvin cycle later on. Is that clear? So, I hope it is clear. So, let me show you the illustration so that it will be clearer and it will be easier for you to understand. Okay, now let's take a look at this. Now, When the electron becomes excited, of course, na-excite na yung electrons through the help of photons from the light energy of the sun, electrons will then be transported in the plastoquinone and then carried by the cytochrome complex and then the plasticinin. Okay, here will happen the phosphorylation wherein the splitting, ayan, as you can see, nagkaroon ng splitting of H2 or water molecule, so naghiwalay na yung hydrogen sa oxygen. Okay, then the electron will then move here. The electron in the photosystem 1, may excite siya ulit, and then be carried by the ferredoxin, and then will go to the NADP plus reductase. This is again the enzyme in order for the NADPH to be produced. So therefore, there is a production of NADPH, and then ATP. So as you can see here, this is the ATP synthase. Yung hydrogen ion from this, yun yung mag-initiate in order for the NADP plus and the phosphate to combine, forming ATP that will then be used and released to the stroma, and will be used for the Calvin cycle. So that's it for the part 1 of our video and photosynthesis, which is the light-dependent reaction. Next, part 2 will be uploaded soon. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is again Teacher Kim. Bye! Annyeong!